Cooks in the Kitchen. I'm Kelly Cook, and I am under duress, I'd say, making a dish today because Matthew's been kind of bugging me about making this again. So I am going to do it. So today it is green chili chicken. Now this is a recipe that I got off of a whole chicken, I think it was Foster Farms chicken bag. Don't ignore those recipes on packages because this one's a winner. I've been making this since, I've tried to remember, at least since the mid-90s, and it's always been a popular thing for the family, and it's economical. So here's the things that we're going to need for this. I'm going to use 5 chicken thighs. I have skinned them and cut off most of the fat. A little fat's okay. I just don't like that stuff. It's green chili. It calls for 4-ounce can of like the Ortega chilies. Totally fine to do that. We like to get these are Anaheims and Poblanos at the farmer's market and freeze them in little chunks. So that's what we're going to use today. And I'm using way more than 4 ounces because even though sometimes less is more, sometimes more is better. And in this case, that's the truth. We need 2 cloves of garlic. You know, we got to use more than that. It also calls for some chopped onion. I think that says like a 1/4 cup. And I like a lot of this stuff in my sauces. Then we're going to use some cumin, cayenne, and chili powder and salt is going to be our rub on the chicken. And after a while, we're going to be adding 3/4 cup of chicken broth. This is also something that we make ourselves, so we always have on hand. So to start, I'm going to get this rub going with this stuff. And that is going to be a teaspoon of cumin. And 2 teaspoons of the chili powder. Oh, and I was going to say too, you can use a whole chicken cut up if you want. Whatever you, almost thought that was too many. Whatever you think you like to have in your household. A teaspoon of salt. Like so. And calls for a 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne. So I'm just going to eyeball that a little bit. And then go with about 1/2 teaspoon, I guess. So now I'm just going to mix this up. I'm just going to keep using my spoon. This makes a nice little spice rub. But I'm just going to sprinkle on the thighs. Also, the thing about thighs like this is like half of one of those big packages that we buy that are like $5 or $6. So we can get a lot of meals. This is enough for 2 meals for us. Okay, let's sprinkle this on there and on the floor. Try to get as much of it covered as we can. Never quite know how much I'm going to need. Okay, turn them all over. I don't like raw meat. Okay, a little bit more of this on here. Okay, I'm gonna turn on my frying pan that has some oil in it here while I'm finishing this up. Because we're gonna cook this in there. Because I have plenty to put a little more on the other side. Get all the little crevices covered up. Yeah. Okay. Looks pretty good. Scrape up the stuff here. I have it on wax paper because I didn't want to gross out my wood board. Okay. All right. So now we're just going to go over the stove and we're going to pop these in there, but I'm going to wash my hands first. have 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here. I'm gonna get that heated up. You need a pan that's going to have a lid that fits. And this one is perfect for that. And a little depth because we're gonna be adding some stuff and it's gonna end up with the sauce on it. So, just gonna put this in there now. It's gonna start sizzling in a minute here. I'm gonna make it. Okay, here it going. Okay, we're just gonna let that brown a little bit on both sides, and then we'll come back and put the onions and garlic in there. Okay, so I've browned both sides of the chicken. Look at this. Oh my gosh, doesn't that look good? I could eat it just like that. So now I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit. I'm gonna put in my garlic, and I'm just gonna throw everything in here. You think you cook it ahead, but you don't have to do that. I just like to kind of spread it around. I'm gonna put it down a little more. Put all the stuff. Put some onions on here. Get on the floor. That's Matthew's job. Okay. That. Chilies and a little juice in there from freezing them, and I'm leaving that good stuff in there. If you got them in the can, they would be cut up a little smaller. I'm not sure why those mines are kind of chunky like that, but it's going to be beautiful. I've never made it with any red peppers in there at the same time. Okay, all of that good stuff. And then the chicken broth. I think I'll turn up a little, let that come up to a little bit of a boil again. And then, once that happens, we're going to turn it down to a simmer and let it go for 35 to 45 minutes. Kind of depends on what kind of chicken, what kind of cuts you're doing. Thighs kind of need a little bit more time. I'm definitely going to go 45 minutes. And then when that's done, we're going to add some things to it to make a lovely gravy that this is served with. And we'll come back. Okay, so I thought we're about halfway through here that we should give a little check-in and see how things are going. Ouch! It's hot. And as you can see, it's simmering along nicely. That's kind of the simmer you want to have. Everything's kind of cooking, so it looks like it's coming along great. That was 20 minutes so far, so I'm going to let it go another 25. And then we'll be doing the gravy stage. Okay, here comes the good part. So, it's been 45 minutes. Oh my God, look at that. That looks so good. Got all this nice cooked chicken. I'm gonna scoop off just a little bit of the chilies and goodness, not all of it, because it's gonna go into the gravy. So, now what we're gonna do is remove this from it's on low, I'm leaving it on low. Remove this from the dish. I forgot to get out some foil, but we'll be all right. I'm gonna take it out and put it over here on a platter. Oh my gosh, it's gonna fall off the bone. Oh yeah, totally. Okay. Whoops, I made them all fall off. All right. So I'm gonna cover that up in a minute, but in the meantime, I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. Let's see, where are we? Got it at about medium. I need it to come to a boil. If you've ever made gravy before, you know that you have to have your stuff, your juicy stuff. It has to be at least kind of a low boil. So let's just see how this is going. There's a little layer of fatty stuff on the top there. I'm probably going to end up skimming some of that off because I just am funny about too much oily gunk in my food. So what I have here is I've got 2 tablespoons of flour and 2 tablespoons of water. It's about the texture of pancake batter. It could be a little thinner. My point is here I'm kind of making a gravy. So I'm going to pour this in now. fling it everywhere if I can. And kind of stir this up. And it should be pretty quick that it comes to a, you know, a little thick consistency. And what I forgot to mention while this is going on is that I have about a half a cup of sour cream at room temp. So once this is thick, I'm going to add that. And I'm pretty sure that, I got this kind of lumpy, didn't I? I'm pretty sure that the reason I was convinced on this recipe was because I saw sour cream. Oh my God, I do have some lumpies in there. Have a little thinner. No one will know. What?
Whisk it and they'll be gone.
I'm whisking.
I know you are. You're doing the right thing.
Whisk it. Whisk it good.
It's getting thicker already too.
Mm-hmm. I love the red in there. We've just never had. So I guess we can't call this green chili chicken. This is just
Some Christmas chili chicken.
And you know, it's not unusual to have to add a little more flour water mixture to this. So I'm actually gonna put a touch of water in my stuff that's left here. And add that. You know, if you know how to make a gravy, you just have to keep kind of messing with it till you get it right. Since we're gonna add sour cream to it. Yeah, they're starting to come away from the bottom. I'm a little embarrassed about my lumps. But you know, if Mr. Cook knows what's good for him, he's not going to complain. And he does know what's good for him. Yes? Say it.
Never complain about this meal. It's going to be delicious.
You are the best husband ever.
You'll beat the lumps out of it.
Miss Kelly will win. You will do what I say. Come on. I still think I need a little bit of more flour, and it's not coming to the thickness that I like.
Looks like it's getting thick.
Yeah, it'll probably be fine. All right. I'll just give that a second to do that. It's kind of fun to watch the bubbles too. Okay. I think that's good enough. That's pretty good. It might be a little bit of a thin gravy, but who cares? It's fine. It's gonna be good over the chicken. So now I'm gonna add, this is about a half a cup of sour cream. I am a huge fan of any sauce that contains sour cream. It's just my thing. My grandma used to say that I should have been Russian because of my enjoyment of sour cream. It's because she worked for a Russian doctor, so she thought that was why. Ooh, that's really pretty. We've just never done it with the red in there before. I'm digging it. Look at just really chunks of the chili went away. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna leave this kind of simmer here just for a minute and work on the sides for tonight's dinner. You can see over here we've got some corn. I decided to cut off the cob and saute. I'm going to add some things to that to make it flavorful, and we'll come back later and I'll show you what I give Mr. Cook for his dinner tonight. Okay, my husband is waiting expectantly for his dinner. Here it is. I got 2 thighs there. Oh. Here we go.
Mmm. Man, that's some good dinner.
Been waiting for months for this.
This is one of my favorite things that Kelly makes, and it is always super delicious. Just the gravy it's an absolute marvel. This is really, you look at it, the chicken just falls off the bone.
And you're gonna put some hot sauce on that because I'm a wimp and you're not.
That's fantastic. Actually, because you use the fresh chilies, it has a little bit of heat from those chilies. If you get the Ortega, there's no heat at all. This is absolutely delicious. Corn,
Mashers with lots
nice
of butter.
crunch, nice flavor. Mashers.
You also have a delicious wine right here.
We're serving it with the original cougar juice with the cougar pour. It's delicious. And we have the Rocky Ricotta sauce.
That's what she made here at the shack. So there you have it.
So thank you for watching Two Cooks in the Kitchen, and we'll see you next time.